Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Spiritualist Desert Church Sunday service. If you are joining us via Zoom, please remember that your microphones will be muted throughout the service as we are recording for our YouTube channel. If you are viewing us on YouTube and you would like a Zoom invitation to join us for future live services, you can send us an email request and we'll put you on the list. Thank you for joining us today. We want to welcome everyone here physically on Zoom, later on YouTube, and everyone who has joined our fellowship from the spirit world. My name is Jen Rawson, and I'll be your chairperson today. I'm a trustee on the board of Spiritualist Desert Church, a co-chair of the pastoral committee, and an NSAC ordained minister. Joining us for our service today will be the Reverend Sharon Watson, delivering our sermon and spirit greetings, and Louise Barkdale will be leading us in a healing meditation. Lynn Collier and Alice Robertson are our Zoom moderators for this morning's service. We'll open our service with an invocation. Please join me in prayer. Infinite intelligence, we direct our thoughts in this hour we are together, asking that your spirit permeate our souls with love, harmony, peace, and joy of communing with like-minded people. We ask that our service be blessed with only the highest of knowledge, and that it be given in accordance with our understanding, so we may continue to go forward and use spiritualism's teaching in our daily lives. Amen. Spiritualist Desert Church is a chartered member of the National Spiritualist Association of Churches, headquartered in Lilydale, New York. The NSAC Spiritualist Manual provides us with the definitions of our religion, and I would like to share these definitions of spiritualism and of being a spiritualist with you now. Spiritualism is the science, philosophy, and religion of continuous life based upon the demonstrated fact of communication by means of mediumship with those who live in the spirit world. Spiritualism is a science because it investigates, analyzes, and classifies facts and manifestations demonstrated from the spirit side of life. Spiritualism is a philosophy because it studies the laws of nature, both on the seen and unseen sides of life, and bases its conclusions upon present observed facts. It accepts statements of observed facts of past ages and conclusions drawn therefrom, when sustained by reason and by results of observed facts of the present day. Spiritualism is a religion because it strives to understand and to comply with the physical, mental, and spiritual laws of nature, which are the laws of God. A spiritualist is one who believes, as the basis of his or her religion, in the communication between this and the spirit world by means of mediumship, and who endeavors to mold his or her character and conduct in accordance with the highest teaching derived from such communication. As spiritualists, we don't have any dogmas or creeds, but we do have 9 principles that we strive to live by. Please join me now in declaring these principles. We believe in infinite intelligence. We believe that the phenomena of nature, both physical and spiritual, are the expression of infinite intelligence. We affirm that a correct understanding of such expression and living in accordance therewith constitute true religion. We affirm that the existence and personal identity of the individual continue after the change called death. We affirm that communication with the so-called dead is a fact scientifically proven by the phenomena of spiritualism. We believe that the highest morality is contained in the Golden Rule, Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. We affirm the moral responsibility of individuals and that we make our own happiness or unhappiness as we obey or disobey nature's physical and spiritual laws. We affirm that the doorway to reformation is never closed against any soul here or hereafter. We affirm that the precepts of prophecy and healing are divine attributes proven through mediumship. It's my great pleasure now to introduce our speaker for today, the Reverend Sharon Watson from Florida. Sharon is an ordained minister, a certified medium, a commissioned healer, and a national spiritualist teacher through the NSAC. She's the president of the NSAC NST Club, the National Spiritualist Teachers Club. She also serves as secretary-treasurer for the NSAC Ministerial Association, the Licentiate Ministers and Certified Mediums Society, and the Spiritualist Healers League. And she's also both a member and examiner for the Morris Pratt Institute. And she's also one of our valued frontline service workers that we're depending on so much right now in her role as a registered nurse for the last 31 years. Please join me in welcoming back the Reverend Sharon Watson to Spiritualist Desert Church.
Thank you, Jen. You know, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world today. And as I was preparing for the sermon, I thought, what would impact everybody? And the word I came up with was appreciation. And appreciation is a recognition and enjoyment of the good qualities of someone or something. You know, it's difficult when things are going on around us to learn to appreciate. But I want to tell you that we are here on this earth plane, and we should appreciate that, because believe it or not, that is a very sacred place to be. We have our physical bodies to be able to move through this life and use the tools that we've been given. It is interesting to note that most everybody wants to be appreciated for something, whether it's who you are, what you've done, just being alive. It makes us feel good. It helps us to just feel more secure and happier. You know, it starts with ourselves first, though, because we do need to appreciate ourselves. How many times do we talk bad about ourselves, or we don't really know why we do the things that we do? And that is part of knowing yourself, because if you know yourself and you know that you are pure spirit first, encased in this physical form, it makes it a little easier to appreciate yourself. You know, and we're not all perfect. That's why we're here. I haven't found anybody who can walk on water yet, but I'm still looking. But we need to understand that this is a time for us to be here to learn and to grow. And we are all one, and we do help each other each and every day. Whether you know it or not, you have the ability to affect those people in your life. And it can be just as simple as a smile when someone's walking by, even though you can't usually see that if you're out in public because we all have masks on. But you can tell when the eyes are smiling at you. And you can feel that energy and that vibration. How many times have you come across somebody and you've judged them in a certain way, and then they did something and it made you totally and completely change your opinion of them, hopefully for the better? But we as human beings like to judge those things that are around us. And when we do that, we are doing it through our limited viewpoint. It's from the experiences and the challenges that we face that we're judging what other people are doing, instead of maybe looking and appreciating the real person behind. The Morris Pratt Institute lessons talk about seeing the person from within instead of from without. It's interesting. My mother used to like to, she called it people watching. And she used to go in the mall and she used to watch people walk by. And she said it was interesting because she learned a lot about people. And you can learn some from looking at people, but you don't know the interior. You don't know the experiences and the challenges that they've had in life that have brought them to that point in time. And it's in those challenges that people react. Now, as spiritualists, we teach personal responsibility. So we know that each one of us is personally responsible for ourselves, our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual being. Sometimes we get to the point where we start to judge because of experiences that we've been through. That shapes how we look at things. And if we can just look past that and look to the spirit that is in people, we will truly feel that commune with them. We know we can feel that oneness. We know that we teach natural laws. We know that the law of vibration, the law of attraction is always at work. Our natural laws are not suspended for anything. That is here, and that is also in the spirit world. And when we want to appreciate somebody and give them a compliment, that makes them feel better and it makes us feel better. Have you ever noticed that when you smiled at somebody or you've given them a compliment? Not only does it make them feel good, but it makes you feel good too, because that may have been the one spark in their day that brought them happiness and peace, and they really felt like they belong. Because we're all in this world together. We're all here to function and to learn and to grow. And if we can take hands and join each other and give each other appreciation and give people that strength, our world would come a long way. You know, I'm not saying that you shouldn't watch the news, because yes, of course you need to keep up with things that are going on, especially with COVID, because I'm a nurse, so I have to keep up with those things. But I want to tell you that don't allow your emotions to get involved in all that anger. We can see that when one person is angry, it starts a whole ball rolling. You remember that snowball that rolls down the hill, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger as it goes. And once it gets to a certain point, we feel like, well, what can I do? But the most important thing that you can do is start small. Start in your own community. Start with your own family. You know, even though some people don't get along with their families, you can still appreciate them. You can still see how they've helped form you, even if you have judgments or even if you have things that weren't quite positive for you. They brought you into this world, and you can start by appreciating them. Now, how many of you have animals? Most people have some kind of animal or have had an animal. You appreciate your animal, right? They come up and give you kisses and give you hugs, or if you have a cat, they just snuggle up next to you. And it's easy to appreciate them because they are showing unconditional love and they're appreciating you. How many times do you go to feed your pet and they get all excited because they're getting food? They're appreciating you because, of course, they can't get into the drawers and get their food out on their own. So they're appreciating you and what you're doing for them. So you do appreciate people and you do appreciate things, but you probably don't give yourself enough credit. If you can start just one day at a time with each step, and if you do this for a couple of days, it begins to become a habit for you. You know, when you're throwing your clothes in the washer, instead of being like, oh, got to wash the clothes, I got to iron the clothes. When you put them in there, say, you know, thank you that I have a washer and dryer, or thank you that I have clothes to wear, or I have food on the table, or I have a house. I'm seeing everybody in a dwelling. So we can even start there and be grateful. It's through these difficult times that we are going to be the leaders of the world. Even if it's just us 15 people or 20 people, if we can affect other people and they can learn from us. A lot of the time, people say to spiritualists, you you have something. What is that? What is it that makes you just who you are? You're just so giving and so loving. And I can remember the times that I have served your church, and you guys are so blessed because you have such a wonderful church family. And they always made me feel welcome. You know, they always encouraged people to learn, as you can see by the progress of some of the students of MPI who are now in the process and recently ordained. Just those appreciation facts will make somebody feel better. Just let them know you care. You know, I'm still working full time, as Jen had said, and it's easy to just get in the routine of not appreciating what's around you. You know, every once in a while, I'll go into the office and I'll say, you know, I really appreciate you schedulers. It's because of you that everything runs smoothly in our organization. Or thank you for the clinical managers because you're the ones who help pull the pieces together. You're the ones who make the phone calls. Just something simple like that. Or even, have you thought of thanking the garbage men? Now, I take my garbage to the dump. And, you know, I've said thank you to them, not every time, but most of the time I say, thank you for your work. Thank you for doing what you do, because without you, where would our garbage be? It'd be piling up in our house, right? Thank the postal worker if you see them, you know, because they're delivering your mail. Some of them are bills, but some of them are letters or Christmas cards that we've received. But it's those little tiny appreciation acts that make a big difference in the world. And once you start doing that, if you do that to, say, the postal worker, and then he gets in a good mood, and then he's nice to the people that he's delivering to, and then those people are nice to the people around them, and pretty soon that law of vibration just sends out that appreciation to those whomever they come in contact with. It's this small act that will help change our world. And yes, you do make a difference, because your energy and your thoughts, and when you send those thoughts out, it makes a big difference. And yes, thoughts are things. I think we all know that. We woke up in the morning and we're in a bad mood or whatever. The day seems not to go well. But that's our personal responsibility. We can change our thoughts. We can change our reactions to things. The first thing you have to do is notice, though. Notice where you are. Check in with yourself frequently through the day. Am I in a bad mood? Am I having a bad day? How can I change it? Because 9 out of 10 times, it started within your head or within your being. You had a bad dream, or I don't know, you were working all night, you know, and you felt like you didn't sleep good. But most of the time, it starts within you. And even if somebody says something mean or says something not friendly to you, you can still appreciate them and thank you for sharing. And then if you don't engage in that, if you don't buy into that energy, and you keep an even mind and you keep yourself stable and smile and say, thank you, I appreciate you sharing, and mean it. You can't be fake when you're doing appreciation. You have to come from the heart. But if you start doing that every day, you will start to notice a shift and a change in the world around you. It has to. It's the law of vibration. It's the law of attraction. It doesn't say, well, I'm going to work for Nancy, but I'm not going to work for Anne. So it doesn't do that. It works for everybody all the time. And it's probably more important now, as the energy is shifting in the universe, that each one of us just take a few minutes every day to appreciate somebody. You can think of a good friend who you haven't talked to in a long time. Pick up the phone. Say, you know, I really appreciate our friendship and our time together. And I just want to tell you, thank you for being in my life. I saw a commercial on TV, and I think this singer was Justin Bieber. I think that's how you say his name. And it was saying, how would it be if you didn't have people to share things with? Just think about that for a minute. You know, You pick up the phone if you're having a problem, or you pick up the phone when you're having a good day, or when it's somebody's birthday, or you pick up the phone just to say, hey, how's it going? I was thinking of you. And how wonderful that is that we can do this. How wonderful that it is that we can see each other on Zoom and see each other's faces and connect in that way. It's important for us to stay connected to each other. And when we appreciate each other and we continue to do that every day, we will see more and more to be grateful and thankful for. Even if you just do it before you go to bed, when you lie down in bed and you say, you know, thank you for this day. I've learned a lot. I've gained some insight. I've gained some knowledge. Hopefully that will help me grow. But everything in your life is there to help you. It's there to help you grow. Even if it's just to change your perspective on things, it's still there to help you. And if we can appreciate those little facts, we will be able to see that evident in our life. It just starts with a little thought, just a little effort, opening the door for somebody, being cognizant of your surroundings, even being thankful for the trees and the grass. I mean, we had 34-degree weather here, which I'm assuming you guys don't get that low. Maybe you do, but it was cold. And I didn't have a freeze. And I was like, oh, thank you. Thank you that I didn't have a freeze and all my plants can continue to flourish. Just little tiny things like that make the biggest difference in the world. And you're putting that energy and that vibration out. And as I've said before, when you drop a pebble in a pond, the ripples go out. And you've heard that saying, when a butterfly flaps its wings, it's felt all over the world. And that's what appreciation does. It's felt by everybody, whether they're hearing you or seeing you or not. And a lot of the times it's just a little appreciation, even if you don't do it verbally. If you see somebody and they're angry or upset, you can say to yourself, wow, thank you for showing me what joy is. Because if you don't let that affect you, you can feel that joy inside of yourself. And that will help you. And eventually you'll notice if you keep doing that and you don't engage in all of that anger, then it tends to calm them down also. I said, it's easy, but it's not easy. The ability for us to make our own choices and for us to do the things that we need to do to help others is why we are here. And I just want to point out, we should be thankful to our spiritualist pioneers, because were it not for them and their determination to bring these truths to the world and to keep going and to help spiritualism become a religion, we would not be able to tell if we die or not die, because we prove that each and every day in our service. And how wonderful is it to know that we are never alone, that Spirit is always with us. We can start appreciating them, saying thank you. You know how if you're driving down the road and something just tells you to, take a right or take a left and you do it, there might have been an accident there. So when you get that intuitive guidance, understand that Spirit does help you. They do love you. Even if your parents or whoever has passed over to the world of Spirit, they still love you. You still have that connection, and you can appreciate that connection with them, even if you just do it in thought. We are so blessed to have this religion. I think we should appreciate those who helped, because it was not an easy road for them. They had a lot of anger and a lot of disbelief and a lot of distrust, but they kept going, as we should keep going. Because each and every day, as we represent Spirit and spiritualism, and we have that foreknowledge that we will continue, remembering that each and everything you do here will help you on the spirit side of life. I want to read to you a quote from the MPI lesson that says, Coville states, "He who bears ill will to those who bear ill will can never become pure, but the one who feels no ill will purifies those who hate." You know, we've heard that the light will overcome the darkness, and it truly does. The more you shine your light and the more you shine that spirit part of you out to the earth and out to those you come in contact with, or those you're on the phone with, or those you are on Zoom with, the more that will spread. Let's show appreciation for each and every person and everything in our life, because remember the definition: recognition and enjoyment of the good qualities of someone or something. I appreciate you all being here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sharon, for those very thoughtful words, and give everyone something to go forward with this week. This is now time for our love offering and our announcements. If you would please join me in our offertory prayer. Infinite intelligence, we accept these gifts of love that will help us in continuing to deliver the messages of spiritualism. We ask your blessings upon these gifts and the givers of them, who seek to assist in keeping this church as a lighthouse for the seeker of truth. Amen. We continue to accept love donations by cash or check to the address that Lynn has up on your screen. In addition, we have PayPal available through our website or through the link displayed on the screen. If you go to the website, there's a donate button there that you can push. And we want to thank you very, very much for your continued support of Spiritualist Desert Church. While our physical church remains closed, our board of directors and the pastoral committee are active and available if you have need of assistance, or if you have questions, or if you're interested in membership. Please reach out to any of us via the methods that were listed on the screen currently. In addition, our weekly newsletter has contact information on the last page. If you want to be added to our email list, again, contact us and let us know. And recordings of all of our Zoom services are available on our YouTube channel, Spiritualist Desert Church on YouTube. In addition, today we have with us the Reverend Vicki Holman and the Reverends Brad and Betty Goslin. Next week's speaker will be the Reverend Jen Rawson. That's me. Come back again next week. And now we're going to move into the healing portion of our service. And we would like to invite you to join us in a healing meditation led by Louise Barkdahl. Louise is the secretary on our board of directors and a co-chair of our pastoral committee. We can all take a moment, center ourselves, and join together in the prayer for spiritualist healing. I ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from my mind and body and to restore me to perfect health. I ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and I will do my part. I ask this great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help and to restore them to perfect health. I put my trust in the love and power of God. Amen. And now Louise will lead our guided meditation.
Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, wherever you may be. I would like to thank everyone who has been able to join us here in the physical today, as well as all those in spirit who come in and spend time with us and support us and love us. If everyone would please just take a comfortable position, feet on the floor if possible. For the next few minutes, there's nowhere else to be. There's nothing else to do. We're going to focus on recharging ourselves so that we may all be of service and continue to help others. Begin by focusing on your breath. breathing in deeply, exhaling deeply. And every time you exhale, just consciously work on softening some of your muscles. Begin with your neck. Roll your shoulders a little bit. Actively work on relaxing those muscles down your arms, down your back, down over your legs. Just let all the stress, tension melt away into the earth. This relaxation, consciously and physically, will allow us to raise our vibration and fully enjoy getting to that loving, healing energy that will work so well on us physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. So envision today that we're sitting next to a waterfall. And the wonderful thing about meditation is the sound of the waterfall is not too loud or too light for us. It's exactly perfect for each one of us. Focus on the mist from that waterfall. Just focus on the mist. Some of that mist will come out over our bodies. The water will not be too cold or too hot. It will be just perfect. And it will kiss our skin. And it will come into our body through our skin as a representation of Spirit's healing energy. And it will continue to mist over us. It will continue to come into our skin, working through our muscles, working into our bloodstreams, working into our cells, working into our consciousness. Spirit knows exactly where the healing needs to go to on each one of us. As we enjoy this healing energy, we can begin to feel the revitalization. We can begin to feel the calm. And we automatically begin to feel better because the healing happens immediately. And as we are in this wonderful state of healing, we feel that connection with Spirit. We feel the love that is sent to us and the hope that is sent to us. That we are well, happy, whole, and loved. With this wonderful feeling, we will now be able to face the upcoming week. Charged with this hope, let's begin our way back. Back into our physicality, back into the now, reconnecting fully with our physical bodies, wiggling your toes, wiggling your fingers, and gently, as you're ready, opening our eyes, coming fully back, relaxed, refreshed, renewed, and ready for the week. God bless.
Thank you so much, Louise. We continue to maintain our healing list and send out absent, distant healing prayers on a daily basis. If you wish to add someone to our healing list, please send us an email request with their first name only. We now move into the message portion of our service. By definition, a medium is one whose organism is sensitive to vibrations from the spirit world, and through whose instrumentality intelligences in that world are able to convey messages and produce the phenomena of spiritualism. A medium proves the continuity of life through evidence provided by spirit. Please understand that all mediums are psychic, but not all psychics are mediums. A psychic reads your energy or your aura. A medium brings through someone who lived here on this earth plane. It's also important to know that a medium is not a medical doctor and therefore will not and cannot diagnose or prescribe. As we draw our service to a close, we would invite you to please stick around afterwards. We have a weekly virtual fellowship where the microphones get opened up and we can talk to one another. And we would like now to ask the Reverend Sharon Watson to close our service with a benediction, please.
Yes. Infinite Intelligence, we are so grateful and thankful that we've had this time to be together. We ask a blessing on each and every person as we go forward in the weeks to come, that we may feel your guidance, we may feel your presence, and we may feel those around us who are giving us the love and support. We truly appreciate each and every one of you, and please know that Spirit appreciates you and brings you much love. Amen.
Amen. Thank you for joining us today. Please remember to include all of those who are striving to keep us safe and healthy during this pandemic in your prayers and meditations this week. And please remain on Zoom for our virtual fellowship. Thank you for coming today, and we hope to see you again next week. Have a good week, everybody.